In my head, when I'm making, I have a picture of how it all works, which is probably very, very simplified. But having a simple picture in your head enables you to work towards that picture, work around that idea. Most makers, or the trend for most makers, has been to copy older instruments. I put them down, put a pencil around them, and you've got the size and shape. I was never happy with that. I wanted to get further into it. I wanted to work out, you know, why is this proportion and that proportion, etc., etc. So the sensible thing when I was being asked to make one a 1/4 inch larger than another one was to actually get down with a compass and a ruler and a pencil and try and draw some lines and see if I could get them to link up. I got quite obsessed with that in the end. I sort of went into a lot of sort of geometry, and then realised how simple it actually was, that there was a sort of drawing system which had been used by artisans through the centuries. It wasn't something that made magically an instrument sound better, and a lot of the curves are freehand off this system, but it's a very useful system to be able to draw an instrument out on a small size, develop it up to a bigger size. It allows me to do that. The basic proportion is that of the square in its diagonal, because it's so easy to use. You don't need anything complicated. You just need a piece of string and a pencil and a straight edge. That's it. That's all you need. And that's why it works, because it's simple. It's a simple tool. Nothing secretive or esoteric about it at all. I like to look out and see the hills and see the sky and things like that. My surroundings have become more and more important. I would find it very difficult to live in a city now. I think it's about somewhere that you feel happiest working. You know, that's what it's about, really. Right. When I get an instrument back, I do recognise it. I'm sitting here at the bench, you know, for a couple of months to make one. You're putting a lot of yourself into that instrument, you know, everything is going in, so it becomes part of you, or there's that little world which has developed between you and that box of wood in front of you. One thing I've sort of thought of when I've been sort of at concerts where people have been playing old instruments, I just thought of the guy that was sitting at the bench making that, you know, and what he would have thought 200 years on about what his instrument was doing, and that just sort of blows my mind. I think, wow, that is fantastic, because all these great instruments, they were just made by an ordinary bloke sitting at a bench, and they would have put their heart and soul into it. You know, the same as I hope I can. It always fascinates me, you know, what that guy was like. You know, was he having a good day, a bad day? Was he pissed off with someone? Was he looking forward to some senorita he was meeting that night? You know, it's a romantic thing, I think, when you're working in. It's a romantic sort of field that you're working in, yeah.